We have a mobile app that I would love for you all to try, and I'll give you directions after I speak for about 10 minutes about who we are. My name is Nadia, and our team is based in Stockholm in Sweden. So we created tools to make coding education really accessible, especially for girls. So our target age group is kind of between like 8 to 14, but there's sort of no upper end. It's perfect for any beginner who's interested in learning Python, or just to join a growing digital community of people who like tech, especially kids. And so we have this hardware, the Imagicharm, which I've programmed with a little message for you all. And all the co-founders were engineers themselves, and they wanted to make sure this tool is super relevant for kids in that age group and be sort of a seamless part of their everyday life. We hope to become the next Tamagotchi of this generation, and I can tell you more about our hardware in a bit. But how everything works is that we have this mobile app, which is free to download. So from there, you can use Python to code any sort of design you would like. You can upload it to the Imagicharm, and then within the app, you can share those projects that you've made to the app community, or download it as like an image and share it on Messenger, on Snapchat. We hope to really make coding pixel art like just part of a 10-year-old girl's life, and we're going to see how successful that is thanks to your support and telling us what you think of our app. So these are the three co-founders. I joined the team about a year ago, so I'm a bit newer. They all have varying experience relevant to engineering, and they were often the only women in their classes, so they wanted to sort of target the pipeline earlier than other approaches. There's probably, as you all know, a lot of programs for university students and sort of female founder even programs, but we want to work with girls when they're much younger, when they start to form stereotypes around who they are in like their place in the world. So we think working with preteens in particular is really crucial. A bit about me. My background's in education. So I studied education, I worked in schools and nonprofits. And so what drives me is the question, how do we get educators and students to learn coding with the smallest lift possible? So what's the lowest barrier to entry? And I think our tools are for sure that. That's just my opinion. I was new to Python a year ago when I started, and I learned with our app. So curious to hear all of your thoughts. Yeah, as I mentioned, the research has shown that specifically like 11 and under, there's not really much gender differences in opinions on interest in technology, but somewhere in the teenage years, a lot of kids digest certain norms that we sort of hope to shift. And if, you know, a 10, 11-year-old girl starts coding in our app, maybe by the time she's 15, 16, she's like, oh, I've coded before. That's easy. It's no longer daunting. So then she'd be more willing to take STEM and computer science classes later. So some insights that the founders had was that for this particular age group, what's really important is being able to express yourself and socialize around relevant interests, and having like a tangible experience with this Imagicharm being a physical external piece separate from the app allows you to like show off what you've made and like visibly show your friends and also play with it. It's sort of fun to fidget around with. It's a silicone case, so it's pretty life-proof. And yeah, of course, kids generally are on their mobile devices, not necessarily phones, but like tablets as well, over computers, especially as, the younger little kids that you can picture. Yeah, so we really hope to be as relevant as possible. So how our company started, a couple of years ago, the co-founders launched this Imagicharm on Kickstarter, which is a great platform to sort of crowdfund for a project that you have. And so there were a lot of pre-orders from Sweden, which is where they were based, and where we are still based, but we do have big markets in the US, UK as well, and then also sort of the rest of Europe, because the EU region sort of works well in terms of shipping. So that was really successful, sort of last minute success. I think they like sort of hit their target in the last 24 hours, which is really exciting. And then the app launched just a year and a half ago. And now that is, so the number at the bottom, 5,000 plus coding projects created by the end of Q4 2020. So now it's like, you know, pretty much Q3 2021. And now I think we have like 25,000 coding projects in our apps, which is really exciting. So last year, this is sort of a slightly outdated slide, but it's true that last year we raised pre-seed funding. So this round of funding, for those of you who are not super familiar with startup world, which I was not before, is about some initial base to start hiring more and have a bigger marketing budget. But right now, currently, like as we speak, my CEO is speaking to investors for our seed round, which is substantially bigger than this. So if any of you have any questions about investing, please reach out to me, just like how it works in the startup world, because I think that's super interesting. And another thing that's relevant to my role is as partnerships manager, I work with schools, nonprofits, coding companies to reach the most number of kids possible. So that means we supply curriculum to educators who would like to teach Python with our tools and teacher training, because oftentimes the educators we work with, I have some allergies. You hear my nose running and coughing a little bit. The teachers that we work with aren't always super experienced. Sorry, I hear someone speaking. Can everyone else mute? And yeah, some of the partners we've worked with are in the US, but also schools across Europe, and now breaking into some of Latin America and Asia, which is really exciting. And so that's pretty much my spiel. I want to actually, before we do an app test, just sort of open this up for questions. Does anyone have anything at the top of your mind? I also can't see the chat, so I would just request someone to read their comments or ask me now, and then we'll go right into the app test. Well, if you have any questions.
I have one question. When you became involved in the startup, you said about a year ago, what stage were they at where they like started bringing in new people? Like, was that also pre-seed or was that even before pre-seed?
That's a good question. So they've sort of onboarded team members whenever they needed. So I think a lot of small startups work in the way that like you have a network of relevant people that you know, and they come on as like part-time consultants, or you pay them for this project or this. So when I was hired, they were going into the pre-seed round of fundraising, so not even that yet. And I, believe it or not, just DM'd the CEO on LinkedIn, and it was like perfect time by chance that she was looking for someone to do partnerships, and I had worked in schools and with nonprofits doing some partnerships. So it was like, I don't personally believe in fate, but one could say it was fate that this sort of happened. But in general, like, I think startups always need help. So whether or not they can pay is the question for like a full-time salary. I think I was just really lucky that she was able to support me and onboard me fully as a full-time partner. But there's always like part-time work and internships to be done because startups just need tons of help. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat. How do I stop sharing my screen? So I will, in the chat here, paste this type form. So the big request now is for you all to take 10 minutes or less and go into your mobile devices, whether Android or iOS, so that could be phones or tablets, and search in the App Store or the Play Store, Imagi. We just rebranded from Imagilabs to just Imagi, so I hope that works. And go ahead and download the app, take a few minutes getting situated, try out what it asks you to try out, and then fill out that type form after you've tinkered around for a bit. And I'll be waiting here. And within the sort of app observation, even the onboarding process where you're like entering your own information, I would like you to be critical of that. So everything from the moment you download to the experiences within the app, I would love, yeah, constructive feedback on whatever you see. So thank you in advance.
So for those who just joined, we're basically getting the Imagi app. Just search up Imagi in your app store, whether it's Google Play or your iOS app store. And then once you search up Imagi, it should just pop up, be the first thing, and feel free to go ahead and download it, experiment around, try creating your own code, and there's a little form in the chat, and then we'll get together and do some other activities after that. For those who are having trouble finding it, it's Imagi. So make sure you get that spelling. It's the one with the cute emoji thing at the top.
Just a question for the organizers. What is the age range of participants that you've had?
We have from like youngest of like 12, 13, even younger than that, to like highest of like 20 something. So we have a pretty large age range of actually a lot of people, but we're targeting more like younger kids and like kids like around like 13, 12 to 15.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Eager to hear feedback from everyone, but it is quite interesting. Even though our tools aren't for older teens or young adults per se, they're able to catch some details because they've been playing mobile games for a long time, so they can tell us about UI UX a bit. So yeah, really excited to hear everyone's thoughts.
Definitely. So I know a couple of people are having trouble with getting it. So is it released in like places like Canada as well, or?
So it's a global app. It's available on any Play Store or App Store. If there's a problem, I would love if they can tell me directly. And is it that it's not searchable, or what kind of mobile device are you on? That might be an issue.
I had an iPhone and it's not like on the App Store.
That's strange. I am AGI, just that. Let me check my App Store while we're at it.
Like it's available for me and stuff, so I'm not exactly sure.
It's definitely globally available in the App Store. Another question is what kind of iPhone is it? That could prevent.
All right.
Yeah, but
it's an iPhone 8, so it should be there.
That's very strange. Is the spelling correct?
Yeah, it should be that. But
yeah, the chat. Oh yeah, Imagilabs as well. Thank you for the.
All right, cool. That helped them. So okay, cool.
Thank you.
Everyone? All right, great. Oh, great. Thanks. The link's also in the chat, so if you have an iPhone, you can just go there. So react to my message in the chat or like send an emoji if you've filled out the form and downloaded it. We can continue along.
I guess the form might take a while to fill out because folks have to actually play within the app.
It's very cute. I love the little like graphics in it. Great. Some people have filled it out.
In the meantime, I can entertain you all with some things on the Imagicharm. So if I go to the general explore feed, I can upload anyone's project that's shared it publicly. So I can pick a new one. Let's see, there's this like cute little chick duck thing.
Yeah, for those who don't have a phone or anything, it kind of looks like this when you first come in.
Yeah. Once you download, please create an account and tinker around in the app. Just like go through it as if you wanted to learn a little coding with the app. Yeah. So as everyone will notice, the app is sort of the full educational social experience. You don't need an Imagicharm to be able to fully access the app. The Imagicharm is just sort of an external perk. Okay, so the else looks cute.
No, it's never too late to join. So You can, whoever has just joined, you can navigate to this link in the chat or search up Imagilabs. Okay, I know she's gonna beat me to it. Search up Imagilabs on your phone, Play Store, whatever, wherever you are, and then download it and start taking playing around with it and fill out a form before we go. And fill out the form on this barcode, scan that, or I can send the form again as well. Just fill that out and then play around with it, and then you can get started.
That is a good question. Thanks everyone who's finishing up. Someone's asking how to react to a message, and that's a good question. I don't know how to react to a message in Teams.
You should be able to just hover over it or press the thumbs up button thing, but you can just send done or random stuff, anything that looks moderately not like a question. You just send that in. All right, cool. So once you guys download it and set up your account, it looks something like this. It has all these cute levels and stuff. So for those who, so we'll go to level 1.
I will say you are on your Apple device, so you will have a level 1. On Android, unfortunately, we don't have all the learning levels yet because we have 2 full-time iOS app developers. So we're just sort of focusing on making sure our Apple product is perfect before migrating it over to Android and to the web. So apologies in advance if you're on an Android device.
Then here I can kind of show it then. For those who don't have level 1, as you tap all these pixels, and then it shows actual code here at the bottom about the actual thing, which is really cool. So to learn about arrays or whatever you call them in Python.
Yeah, we introduced Python with a matrix just to make it as simple as possible.
You just joined? Oh, so you go to the, again. You go to this link or just search up Imagilabs in whatever app store you have, and then download it, play a level or so to learn about the first lesson, and then, yeah, fill out that form after.
Thank you. And if anyone has any specific questions about our company, startup world in general, feel free to reach out to me, Nadia at Imagilabs.com. Yeah, if anyone has any more questions, let me know now. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it for my presentation.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, I will look forward to reading these survey results soon. So thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. And everyone who's still here, you can kind of look at level 1 and learn. For those who have iOS, I guess you can learn about a Python matrix and arrays and stuff. So that's cool if you want to get learning about it. So the rest of this session time, you can start learning about how to learn about start learning the basics and fundamentals of Python. And yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now.